Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Where shall we start today? How about we try to find the answer to this question that we raised in previous episodes, which we must ask ourselves. Let me remind you of it. I am a creature in this life right now, so what should I do here? What is my role towards myself? What is the purpose that I must fulfill in this life? Let us think together about how we can answer these questions. In truth, our parents ask us this question when we are young: what do you want to be when you grow up? And all of our answers are very superficial, and that's acceptable because we are children. Some say, I want to be a doctor to heal people, or an engineer to build tall buildings, or an officer in the army or the police, etc., and the current generations. For example, say I want to be an actor, singer, or content creator on YouTube, etc. In reality, the choice of successive generations for what they want to be when they grow up is a reflection of the goal they see in us, the adults. If they find a role model who cares about a cause or solving a problem for humanity, they will want to be that superhero from their perspective. And if we neglect them and leave them to what is presented to them on the internet and television, their goals will certainly change, but that's not our topic. Our topic is, what should I do in this life that I am living? Is the goal really to become an engineer or a doctor? Or is the goal to earn money, which can disappear at any moment? Or is the goal to learn something, not to benefit humanity, but as a means to get a job that brings in a lot of money, and in the end I die? Are these goals really the purpose of life? Did I come running after money, then die in a moment? And my children come running to earn more money, then they die, and we all enter into this endless cycle. Does this make sense, or is there a higher purpose than this? I am speaking about myself. I don't expect it to be this way, regardless of me believing in something that concerns no one, but because I deserve to be higher than these materialistic goals. Yes, I am the unique one, qualified to search for the truth. I am the one who possesses the ability for knowledge, imagination, and observation. I am the one with a conscience. I am the human. The first thing you must do to know your purpose is to know who you are. You are the individual being. Your relationship with God is a very personal relationship. He exists within you. So your relationship with God is a very special one, and therefore, it is this relationship that will guide you to its insights. So all you need is to search within yourself and any external dealings, as we usually do with this external God, and dealing with Him in that external way learn it from society, like, we all must do this for God to be pleased, do this to get closer to God, do this for God to love you. I expect it won't work like that. It's exactly like education in the past and education today. I'm talking about education in history, where the teacher would sit in his place, and the seeker of knowledge would come to him. After the student had learned it enough, he would search for another teacher in a different place to gain more knowledge. That happened from the time of Aristotle's school until about 2 centuries ago, until things went wrong and we started putting students in the same place, in one classroom based on age, giving them the same type of knowledge, the same amount of knowledge, and the same subjects, then putting them all through the same test. And that's how we ended up with the tragedy we're in now. Similarly, life is also a school, but bigger, sweeter, more enjoyable, and much deeper. In the same way with prayers, each individual has their own school. Everyone has their own method. There are people who ask God for worldly things, as we mentioned before. Sometimes I used to object to this, but I told myself that everyone is free to ask God for whatever they want, even if they ask God to bring them a fried egg sandwich. This is not my concern. Each person has the right to do as they please. Similarly, my role, which I emphasize repeatedly, is to show you the method, the way of thinking, the way of relating that occurs within me, for you to observe. It might help you understand something that is happening with you. So, what does God want from me? He wants something from every person. In my conviction, He wants me to see Him despite the barrier, despite the veil between me and Him, whether it's the veil of my mind, the veil of my ego, the veil of my knowledge, or more precisely, the veil of my ignorance. This is my conviction. But how is the method? How do I get closer to God? I believe each person and approach God in their own way. Each person's relationship with God is different. So what does God want from me? It is something that your own system will guide you to. For example, I seek time to reflect and search within myself. Maybe others don't have this much time. For instance, someone wakes up at 5 in the morning and returns from work at 8 or 9 in the evening, struggling back and forth between work and the traffic and the long distance. This is just an example. There are others whose struggles are much greater and who don't find time to do what I do. I expect that what is required of someone struggling like this is different from what is required of me. What is required of them to get closer to God is certainly different from the method required of me. Each of us has our own matter. There are those who work as ministers, those who work as presidents, there are police officers, and there are border guards. These are completely different matters. So, let's forget this collective theoretical talk we've learned. Leave it aside, and each of us should focus on our own matter. It's time to focus on our individuality and pay attention to our inner selves. Experience has shown that treating everyone as an individual, as discussed in the example of schools, factories, and societies that want all people to be treated as individuals, has caused us harm. As we always do, we make a mistake, and that mistake keeps growing until it explodes in our faces. Similarly, my idea might cause harm we don't know if we follow it too much. Everything has its advantages and disadvantages, and you are the only one capable of balancing things. Don't forget that. I would like to point out this topic of privacy. Pay attention that the relationship between you and God is a personal one, and you are the only one who must build this relationship. And when you ask, "What should I do in this life?" don't ask outside. Instead, ask within yourself. Ask God within yourself, for this inner system knows. How to approach, observe yourself. And how do you know you've approached? Also, observe yourself. You know when you sit on a chair whether you are comfortable or not. You can assess this feeling from within yourself. Similarly, you will observe your own feelings and know if your soul is at ease. You will experience tranquility, comfort, and satisfaction. regardless of how dire the circumstances around you may be. However, you will sense something different when you're not connected. Just try, and your connection will guide you to that reassuring space within yourself. You will find that the essence of things is that you are smiling. You will find calm and tranquility in your solitude. You will find yourself at peace. This is what will tell you that you are on the right path. Hyperactivity, the need for people, the need for noise, the need for a full schedule, the screens around you, along with alcohol, drugs, and cigarettes. All these things indicate that there is a missing piece. They indicate that you are distant. The closer you get, the more you will find peace and comfort. And the farther you are, the more the sense of discomfort will increase. Your system is designed this way to guide you. Your system is your mirror, the beacon that lights your path. Look at yourself, not at others. Don't get distracted by who is comfortable, who's happy, or who's better than you. Rein in your mind on this and release it within yourself. Compare yourself to yourself. Focus within. All your answers are here. Take your time. Take your space. Calm down. Take a little silence, a little contemplation. Think about the experience. Try what will work best for you, what will suit your personality and your life. Search what will happen. Observe, change all variables. Wake up early. If you wake up at 5 in the morning, wake up at 4 in the morning. Sit silently for an hour on the balcony before you go to work. If you pray, deepen your practice. If you don't, try it. If you feel disgusted by the people around you, try to look at them. Sense each one's plight. Try to love them. Calm yourself and ask, what do you want from me in this position? You will find the answer, and if you don't worry. Just try to excel in what you do. Try to be sincere in your actions. Some of us, after a while, feel that they don't like their job, so they change fields. This is the result of experience. Similarly, you will only be guided by your inner voice when you listen to it. Calm down, focus, and listen to yourself. Try to find the answer to what you should do here in life. Search from here. Perhaps your role in life is to save someone, or remove harm, or plant a tree, or be a kind heart to those around you, or leave a good impact after your departure. Each of us leaves a mark. Until we meet again, may the inner guide your path. Peace and blessings. We're glad you made it this far. If our video ignited something within you, we're honored. Join our Javan Rusa community to explore more and be part of our journey.